Each week we're going to take a look at key plays from the previous week's game. So let's, in the interest of keeping these videos as short as possible, let's get right to the Bear game. This is the second play of the game. It's going to be a handoff to Matt Forte, and it's going to be a 22-yard gain, his first big run of the game. On this play, you can see the Bears are lined up in a single wide receiver set. The Packers have responded with their Okie package, that is their base defense, plus Sean Richardson taking the place of Casey Hayward. Richardson is cheating up towards the line of scrimmage, giving the Packers 9 players in the box. The Bears have 8 guys to block with, so logically, this play should be to the Packers' advantage. However, right after the snap here in the handoff, you can see the Packers are doing very well at the line of scrimmage. They are pushing the Bears back and reestablishing the line of scrimmage on the Bears side of the field. Clay Matthews is charging up through this gap, and if Matt Forte were to try to press that gap or to get to the outside, this play is likely going to be a loss. Unfortunately, Forte sees Matthews coming here, and he is going to decide to cut back. He is going to find a large gap now created by the fact that Mike Pennell has gotten too much penetration, has gotten too far upfield. Mike Neal is not following the play down the line of scrimmage and therefore does not help here. Sam Barrington is just being unaggressive, and his lack of aggressive play here is going to easily get him walled off and knocked out of the play. Sean Richardson is unblocked on this play and should have a great chance to stop it. However, he's just not agile enough, and he loses track of Matt Forte, and when Forte decides to cut back, Sean Richardson cannot stop and cut back quick enough in order to get in on the play. Forte ends up running right by him. Pretty good play by Clinton Dix to charge up from his safety spot and get in on the play, but Forte is a good running back. He stiff arms Clinton Dix and gets up the sideline for 22 yards. Now I've jumped ahead to the final play of this first drive for the Bears. This is the play that's going to cause the Bears to have to settle for a field goal. It is 3rd and 5. Cutler obviously wants the first down or touchdown here. The Packers are just sitting in their nickel defense with both their middle linebackers on the field. Now, the key to this play is that the Packers are actually going to be playing zone, and that for once the zone is going to work. Cutler is probably going to realize that this is a zone within the first second or two of the play, and knowing that it's a zone, obviously the best place for him to attack is going to be the middle of the field against the Packer linebackers. Unfortunately, because Clay Matthews stays put and stays in this throwing lane, Cutler cannot throw the ball here and decides to pull it down and try to run out of the pocket. But in doing so, Peppers and Raji both do a good job to get off their blocks and sack Cutler. Now, you also may notice on this play that even if Peppers and Raji had not gotten off their blocks, Clay Matthews reacts so quickly to seeing Cutler step up in the pocket that Cutler would not have been able to get the first down by running on this play anyway. Good play by the defense. This is the Packers' first really successful run in the game, and on this play, you're going to see the Packer offensive line and Richard Rodgers essentially just dominate the Bears. They're going to push them 3-4 yards back, and going to give tons of room for Eddie Lacy to run here. And if Lacy does not end up getting tripped up, this could have been an even bigger run for the Packers. As you can see, the Packers have established a new line of scrimmage that is about 3-4 yards deep, and the Bears are pushed back, and there's lots of room for Eddie Lacy to roam on this play. Okay, this is the Packers' first touchdown drive, and this is played shortly before the Packers scored. The reason why I'm showing you this play is that this is something that I like to call the Packers' read option. But on this play, instead of Rodgers having the choice to either hand it off or run himself, what he can do is he can hand it off, or depending on what this linebacker does, he can throw a quick pass to the receiver in the slot here. The Packers especially like putting a big receiver in this spot. Davante Adams, obviously Jordy Nelson when he was around, he was the best person to put here. But now we have Davante Adams. Richard Rodgers is also at times put in this spot. And this is a nearly impossible play for the defense to stop. Aaron Rodgers' quick release, his accuracy with the ball, makes it really difficult for the defense to stop this play. Okay, here you can see the linebackers have clearly reacted to James Starks, the fake handoff to James Starks. The the offensive line is run blocking, so Rodgers could have handed it to Starks if he thought that was the thing to do. Basically, the only chance the defense has on this play is for the defensive end to somehow knock this ball down. It's Aaron Rodgers' responsibility to get this ball over, around, or through this guy, which he manages, and this ends up being an easy 7-yard gain for the Packers. All right, we're in the second quarter, and this ends up being a touchdown drive, mostly thanks to Sam Shields. This ends up being a touchdown drive for the Bears. And I'm showing you this play because it may infuriate you or annoy you like it does me, how on these third and mid-range plays, the Bears can easily get to the outside with Matt Forte and pick up easy yardage. A big reason in the last couple of years why the Bears have had an easy time doing this against the Packers is the blocking of Martellus Bennett. Tight end Martellus Bennett has done a great job in a couple years he's been a Bear of blocking the Packers' outside linebackers. He is able to hook them and push them to the inside. On this play, he's easily able to hook and push Mike Neal to the inside. That allows Kyle Long to release and push HaHa Clinton Dix out of this play, which makes this an easy pickup for Matt Forte. So you can see here, Bennett has Mike Neal walled off easily. Long is jumping on HaHa Clinton Dix, and the Packers have no hope right now of stopping this play from getting a first down. Okay, I have jumped ahead to the third quarter. It's 17-13 Packers. This is a negative 1 yard run for Matt Forte, so this is one of the only times in the game that he lost yardage. This play illustrates two things. One is that it's difficult to run to the side that Clay Matthews is on. Clay Matthews is an aggressive linebacker, and if you leave him some space in front of him, he will get upfield. And then two, Mike Neal successfully keeps the outside shoulder this time, and that helps blow up this play. Mike Neal's penetration into the backfield, his containment of the outside, and then Clay Matthews aggressively charging upfield caused this play to end up being a loss for Matt Forte. Good play by the Packers defense. Too bad we didn't see more of that. Okay, key 3rd and 4 late in the game here for the Packers at 17-16. It's in the fourth quarter. This is the drive that would put the Packers up by 8. So key moment here, 3rd and 4 at the 16-yard line of the Bears, 17-yard line of the Bears. Basically on this play, one of the reasons why, besides the fact it's an important play, one of the reasons why I'm highlighting this play is that this is another pass or run option for Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not sure that all Packer fans are aware of the number of times, especially on third down, that Aaron Rodgers has a run pass option. Rodgers here can either hand the ball off to Lacy if he likes what he sees in front of him, or he can throw the ball to a receiver. And here I'll run this play a little bit forward. Okay, so what is the telltale signs here is that the receivers are running routes. The receivers are going ahead and running their routes and are giving Rodgers the option to hang on to this ball and throw it if he feels he needs to. At the same time, the offensive line are clearly run blocking. So they are run blocking for Lacy. They are expecting a run. Here you're going to see Josh Sitton, which is the normal guy we're going to run behind in key situations. He's going to come off a double team and get to the linebacker, which is going to free up Eddie Lacy to get this first down. Randall Cobb is running an out and up from the slot here. Andrew Corliss is running an out from the other slot here. And so there are options for Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball if he had decided at the last second that he actually wanted to throw here. Okay, now for the key play of the game. In this game, the Packers were in their nickel defense, and they essentially baited Jay Cutler into throwing the ball to his tight end. Jay Cutler is going to think that Martellus Bennett is popping wide open when he sees that Micah Hyde releases to the flat to cover Matt Forte rather than staying on Bennett. This, for a moment, gives the appearance that Bennett is wide open. Unfortunately for Cutler, Clay Matthews does a great job of disguising this. He first comes up to the line of scrimmage almost like he's going to blitz on the play. Then he drops back aggressively in front of Bennett and ends up intercepting this ball. And pretty much the rest is history. Okay, if we stop it here, I want to point out two things. One is you can see what Jay Cutler sees, and you can see why he would make this mistake. Here, Cutler can see that Micah Hyde is leaving the coverage of Bennett and is going out to cover Forte out in the flat. And this is momentarily making Bennett wide open. If it wasn't for the fact that Clay Matthews is charging hard here, this is going to be an easy completion to Bennett. The second thing I like to point out is an interesting thing that happens when you review the plays in the game film, is that this is actually a blown coverage for the Packers. The Bears had lined up with trips to this side, and I saw this a couple times during the game when that happened, that the Packers inside here, this is Nate Palmer and Casey Hayward, they got confused over who should be covering who, and they actually allow Marcus Wilson to just run straight to the middle of the field. Now, it's possible that they're also in a zone look here, and that they're both just taking the outside zone and forgetting the middle. And that Clay Matthews is just purposely vacating the middle here and taking a risk here. But really, this is a play that the bottom line is that if Cutler would have looked off Bennett and thrown the ball to the middle of the field to Wilson instead, he would have found Wilson wide open in the middle of the field, and this would have been quite possibly a touchdown for the Bears. So great play by Clay Matthews. Thank you, Jay Cutler. All led to another big victory for the Packers over the Bears at Soldier Field. I will be back next week to look at some key plays for hopefully a Packer win over the Seattle Seahawks.